Hey, heart seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, where we believe that our hearts are the foundation of our well being and happiness. I am your host, Keona Talana. Am I the only person who must have blinked too long? Because we legit are getting ready to enter into the last month of the year. And I can't believe that we are actually here. Um, this year has, for me, been both exciting and trying at the same time. And I don't know about any of you all, but I'm definitely excited about what I have been able to learn this year, how much I have grown in this year, and even being able to push past the pain in this year. And so, as I said, this year has been both exciting and trying at the same time. But I guess for me, the most important part is I was able to push through. I was able to push past the adversity. I was able to push past those moments when I just didn't want to. And it's not to say that everything that I set out to do this year, I was able to accomplish, but I am excited about those things that I have been able to put my hands to and have been able to see just how life is setting itself up. So at the top of the year, I was able to attend a class that was virtually, but it was live from in the UK. And so I was able to become certified in neurolinguistics. And basically another piece to the puzzle of mindset. So here I am. I'm a mindset coach, and I'm constantly pouring into those areas that will only make me better. And it's not just for myself, because as I continue to grow, I'm able to show up and be better for the individuals that are in my life. And so that was a moment in which I can say that that was a great time. That was a great achievement. That was a great milestone that I was able to check off my list. Being able to start this podcast. And no, it's not sexy and pretty and all of these amazing things, but I did it, although it was not perfect. And so I think as we continue to go through life, that we're going to have to not wait for things to just be so perfect in order for us to start. I think the important piece is for us to just start, or as Nike would say, to just do it. We're going to have to be able to put some pieces in place. And yes, the whole puzzle is not going to come together all at one time, but if you get enough of the pieces, then you can begin to put the border and begin to put pieces in place. And so again, as we're looking at this yearly audit, or having this yearly audit, what are the lessons that we learned and the wisdom that we have gained? We can sit and think about those key personal lessons that we've had, the challenges that we've been able to overcome, the moments of growth that we've had. And those are going to be the things that are going to propel us into this next season of our lives, because as we already know, that in order for us to get to where we're going, we have to first know where we've been. And I'm excited about what we have been able to learn about ourselves. We just came off the series of Reveal, and this year of just being full of revelation, full of revelation, and being able to see things just a tad bit clearer than we have been able to previously. So, what are some ways that we can really tap into this introspection that we need to be able to practice? What are some of the ways that we can examine our own thoughts and feelings and motivations? Just basically a tool for our personal growth and self-awareness. For me, it's been important to just kind of sit in silence. And I don't know about you all, sometimes for some individuals, they can't handle the silence. So for me to be able to sit in silence has been probably the most impactful thing that I have learned in this season of my life. Y'all, I am so okay with me. I am so okay with being in a place where I don't have to be surrounded by individuals all the time. Yes, I'm not saying that I don't like being around people, but what I am saying is that in this season, I have learned how to sit with me. I have learned the importance of just being able to get quiet enough. There have been days where I have not said a word. I have not had to talk to anybody, and I have just been able to sit in silence. And it's in those moments that it has been able to reveal to me my thoughts, my patterns, my behaviors, just the day to day of life. But sometimes we get so consumed with all of the outside noise and so consumed with the dings going off and checking what's going on social media, and just being able to sit with me. I believe it was at the beginning of the year, I went on a social media hiatus, completely turned it off, was off for months. And that was probably one of the best things that I needed, because it caused me to really focus in on what it was that I needed to do while I wasn't so consumed and focused in on what everyone else was doing. And I say that because sometimes we get so caught up in what everyone else is doing, and then we try to measure ourselves by what we haven't been able to accomplish, or try to make ourselves sound like someone else, or try to portray ourselves in a way just so that we can fit into what culture is doing. But I am here to admonish you that you don't need to look like, sound like, do anything other than what you have been created to do. Like, you are uniquely made. And so as we are walking this journey out called life, we don't need a whole bunch of yous out here. We need one you. Just like we need to be able to see that gift that has been put down on the inside of you that only you can bring forth. And so in order for you to understand what that is, you're going to have to sit and meditate. You're going to have to journal. You're going to have those moments of silence and solitude. Why? Because that time allows you to remove the distractions of daily life and just to be able to focus inward. You know, I know sometimes that it can get hard, that life will get in the way, and you say, you know what, I'm just going to sit down for a quick minute. And what do? You grab the remote and you turn the TV on, or you grab your phone and you begin to scroll social media. And by the time you look up, the day has gone and you have not had the opportunity to just sit with you and your thoughts. So I want to make sure that you are making time for you, and not with turning on all of those different things, because you need to be able to quiet down the noise so that you can hear properly. You need to be able to hear that still small voice on the inside of you that is going to give you the ideas, the witty inventions, the ways that you need to be able to move, the strategy. It's going to be able to be given to you in those times when there is nothing else going on. And so for some of you all, you have been dreaming a lot. Why? Well, most of you all are dreamers, but then oftentimes you don't take time enough throughout the day in order to sit still. And so as you are sleeping, that's the only opportunity for you to be able to hear. So make sure that even as you are dreaming, write those dreams down. Figure out what those dreams mean. They're not just dreams. They mean something. And so for a lot of you all, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to when you're out in nature. Pay attention to the things that you hear when you're outside. Just tap in. Tap into those moments. And I believe that I've said it before. For me, I had to sometimes stop and figure out, where are my feet? Because we get so caught up in, well, what we have to do tomorrow and what we have to do next week and what we need to do next month and next year and 5 years from now, that we forget that we need to be purposeful in the moments. And so if you're missing those times to be purposeful in the moments, that means you're also missing those times that you need to be hearing what you need to hear for that moment. So make sure that you're taking the time for that introspection. Here are a couple of questions that, as you're doing that, what are some questions that you can do for that reflection? What are some of your biggest challenges from the year? How did you respond to those challenges when they were trying? Did you blow up on the people? Did you get quiet? Why? Why did any of that happen? What are some of the things that bring you joy and fulfillment? Ask yourself these questions as your guide through introspection. Also, focus in on what exactly is it that you're reading. What are you focused in on your personal development? Spiritually, where are you? You say that you want all of these things, but they're also going to require a different version of you. You can't say that what you want is so astronomical and big and think that you're just going to get it by being this same version of yourself. No. And I'm not saying that you have to code switch, but what I am saying is that you're going to have to become a different version of yourself in order to get to that goal. If it's, again, removing some of the distractions, if it's time blocking, if it's reading more, if it's pouring into your personal development, if it's meditating, if it's going to a therapist, what are those things that are going to stimulate you introspectively so that you can figure out who you need to become in order to get to where you want to go? It could very well be that, hey, you need to pick up some creative activities. Start tapping into a side of your brain that you don't typically use, like painting, music, writing. They cause you to get into your subconscious thoughts and feelings. Because again, when you're writing, and if you stay in that writing mode long enough, you will begin to go back and look at what you wrote and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize that I've been writing for the last hour. Things begin to flow out of you that wouldn't typically come out just by you sitting down to write. So again, make sure that you're taking some time to go through this life audit and this introspection, because it's necessary and needed for where you're getting ready to go. Necessary and needed for where you're getting ready to go. So again, as you're conducting this life audit and you're assessing all of these different areas of your life, your career, your relationship, your personal growth, your health, and whatever else you may need to add into that, reflect on where you stand and where you would like to go. Because again, we have to know where we are. We have to know where we are. We have to be okay with where we are, because you're not going to be content if you're always looking for the next. So yes, we have to be able to level up in life, but you also need to be content sometimes about where you are. Now, I say content, I did not say comfortable, because those are two separate things. But you do need to be content. You do need to be thankful. You do need to be able to show gratitude. You do need to let people know that when they are in your lives and they have shown up in a big way, that you are letting them know how much they mean to you, that they are letting you know how much you mean to them. So again, we have work to do. Everything that we do is about progressing through this, as they say, this game called life. But when you know better, you do better. When we have this self-introspection and we're looking for the lessons and we're making sure that we're taking the test and we're gaining all of the wisdom that we have. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to pass every test, but what I'm saying is that there are going to be some tests that are going to be so easy that there's no reason why we should be retaking them at this stage in our lives. So I want us to get to a place where we are moving, propelling, shifting, transforming, being what it is that we want, and becoming the person that we need in order to get there. Yes, it's a process. Yes, each person is going to get there differently. And that's why sometimes you need to be able to put your head down and get to work. Don't focus in on what everyone else is doing around you. They're not in their same chapter of their book as you are. So you can't compare yourself to what anyone else is doing except comparing yourself to where you are now to where you used to be. But keep going. Keep going. Because we got this. We're on this journey, and we're on this journey together. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. Like, I know it's an adventure. I know that we got work to do, but together we're going to embrace vulnerability, learn from each other, and spread love, one heartfelt hello at a time.